Hello there everyone, today we are going to talk about the ways how are you going to offend or let's say insult a photographer. So without further ado, let's jump into the first video. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi! Ay, nang sir, gusto ko tani inquire ang mga raw, mga pictures, balaging ko. Tapos ang last na photoshoot.
Yes ma'am.
Ano nang sandi ko biban nga raw, kayong iban gusto ko ako lang ma-edit. Okay lang.
Sorry, gid ma'am, kay since nga na-send ko na si mo mga na-edit ko na nga mga photos, wala na ako nag-send sa mga photos na wala ko pa na-edit.
Ha? Ay, ate, Roman lang na. Sige na, miskin 5 lang. Ako lang mamili sa gusto ko. Ako lang ma-edit. Sige na.
This situation goes to both X-deal as well as a paid gigs or event shoot. So when you say X-deal, that is just a fun shoot or a photo shoot that no money involves. It is a no-no for a photographer to give you the raw files of the photos. And you may ask why. Just imagine the impact that will cause you as a photographer. They will be the one to edit it, and they will post it in Facebook, in Instagram, or any social media, and other people will ask them who took your photos. And the photos turned out to be horrible. And yeah, congratulations, you just lost a lot of future potential clients. Yay!
I-post ko niyo pala. Tanami niya. Back! Post!
Ay ka-animal Teo, gin-post ya, wala yung lang yung credit, oh.
It is an insult, a big insult for a photographer to post a photo without crediting the one who made that photo, especially if it is an X deal. Come on guys, the photographers didn't get a cent from you and you can't even give a proper credit to the person who took your photo. The photographer took an effort to take your photo, to make you look good. And the worst is, some photographers do this, but I used to do this, but I don't do it now. They put a watermark in their photos, on the edges of their photos. But for me, I don't put it because for me, it just ruined the photo itself. But for some photographers, they do it. And this is a time where other people took an effort to crop your photos just to take off your watermark. How wonderful, right?
Up in your touch.
Uy, ay, basta. Di, na-send ko na si mo ang mga final photos mo to.
Ito, type lang nakita ko, pero laking naman ah. Tahong sa
Thank you.
Siyempre, kaya mahal ang kamera mo. Siyempre, subo nga dahil yung chimpo. Kasi na mature, kung mahal ang kamera ng mga shinmei, the professional na. Pero ba ako dahil?
Dalagin lang kayo matundang ko.
Uy, gagawin ko, huwag mo na.
Gatulong ko, anay na na.
It is an insult for a photographer to say, your camera takes good photos, your camera takes great photos. It is actually the same as saying you're only good photographer because you have a nice camera. Man, the world famous writers wasn't able to write a beautiful novel because the pen that they are using are made of gold. The CEO of a big company wasn't appointed to be a CEO because of the expensive suit he's wearing. A great painter wasn't able to pull out a great work of art because the brush that they are using was made of a genuine unicorn hair. A world-famous chef wasn't able to cook a delicious food because their kitchen is like a 7-star hotel with a complete set of the most expensive kitchenware. So with that being said, it's not about the camera. It's about who's behind the camera. Well, you know, some of you would argue that the camera plays a very big part when it comes to taking photos. Yes, of course, indeed. When it comes to image quality, to resolution, to how fast it's out of focus, and that's pretty much it. When you say the composition, the lightings, the timing, the poses, and most especially the editing, that is all on the photographer. And I hope that's clear to all of you. So since, as you can see on the video, Aiko there was referring to the word professional as good quality, something like that. But you know, I just want to tackle that word, okay? Professional doesn't necessarily mean that you are really good when it comes to your craft. Professional means you do it for a living. You do photography for a living. So that's why you are called professional photographer, because that is the source of your income. And the hobbyists or the enthusiasts are the people who do photography because they love it, because they have a passion for it. So with that being said, I'm going to repeat that again. Professional photographer, they do it for a living. Hobbyist or the enthusiasts, they do it because they love it and they have a passion for photography. So that's simply much it. Being a professional photographer doesn't mean that you are more superior when it comes to skills in photography. It doesn't necessarily mean that. Okay, that is the only difference there. So I hope that's clear.
Photographer, syempre, kabalo ka naman, no? Kabalogin mo yung sagad sa akin, hindi na photographer, play mo sa phone.
Amo gina niya. Amo na namin. Hindi na suportahan mo sa inyo. Iki, amo na ng business ko subong gaan ka package ah. Barato lang yung 10,000.
Kaputa ka! Mga 10,000 ka! 50% kinalahin man to sa araw-araw ka! Friend ka mahal, friend!
Ilan kita yung...
Friend, 5K, friend! 5K, friend!
5K? Di tama na lang. Tama rin. Sinbel akong kamera, 5K.
Gago ka, libre naman ang pagkaon, may cold water ka pa.
Photographers get offended, especially if other people will ask you for a gig or for an event shoot almost for free. Especially if you are just new into photography, people will take advantage of you, and that is a sad fact, and even compare you to other photographers. Wow, why don't you take them? Why take me in the first place, right? So if you're going to think about this, your camera, your lenses, your accessories like the lightings, the flashes, the tripods, the filters, the computers, the photography school if you have attended, or seminars or workshop, they cost a lot, and I mean a lot of money, and then you're just going to ask for a very cheap price for that one?
Text ako sa blast. Hi, good PM. Remind ko lang ang aton na shoot by 5 PM. Send. Ay, pasaw. Ay, diin ka na. Send.
Uy, shit. Kinaktan kami. Paano ni Ma? Cancel na lang. Sorry. Get send.
Ay, animal text.
Okay, I'm going to talk about most especially here on the X deal. So on the X deal, it's really frustrating to deal with this kind of people. They are the people who have no word of honor. It's okay if you're going to cancel the deal days prior to your, or let's say hours, or let's say 24 hours before the said time, or before the said date, because you know photographers prepared a lot for that one, or in order to materialize that one shoot or the photo shoot. But you know, for the event deal, but for the event shoot or for the paid gigs, it's pretty easy to deal with those kind of situation. So that's where the contract come into play. And in that contract, okay, so first off, I have no idea about legal matters, but I believe that as long as in your contract, in order to protect each other, you know, it's a win-win process actually. In order to protect both client and the photographer, the client has to pay 30%, or let's say 30% to 50% of the said amount. So that will serve as a down payment, or let's say a reservation fee, so that the photographer will clear that date of the said event. And also, if the client will cancel the deal, the amount that they already paid for you, that is not refundable, so that there will be no hard feelings whenever the client will, you know, cancel the deal. But of course, for the X deal, unless it is a force majeure, well, of course, that is understandable. If there's a typhoon, well, that is understandable already, right? But the fact that if there is no such big reason to cancel the deal, that is really F up. Yes, the 5 lists that I just showed you are just, I know that is just a tip of an iceberg, but I opted to show you this or to demonstrate you these 5 things simply because I don't want to make this video very long. But don't worry, I'm gonna have another part, or I'm gonna have a part 2 or maybe part 3 even of this topic. So if you have any comment, any suggestion in addition to the list that I have here, please comment down below. I would really appreciate that. And I would like to thank my fellow photographer, namely Toto, who is based now in Saudi Arabia, and also Sir JR, because they contributed in order for me to materialize the script of this vlog. And of course, most especially to my 2 best actor and actress, Aiko and Mish, for joining me in this vlog. Shout out for you guys. Thank you very much. So yeah, that will be all for now, and see you again on our next vlog. Bye bye.